and it's hard to push in the ground to make a hole for the onions. I found a different way to do it, which is a whole lot easier, and I really like it a lot better. So I got tired of using this thing. It makes it really easy, and then there's a nice benefit for doing that, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Green sand, some kelp, a little bit of bone meal, actually kind of pulls the onion down in the hole and makes it really solid in there. It just doesn't, it won't come out. Yeah, I really like these watering wands. These are made by Dram. We do things that people say you're never supposed to do, and they store perfect all year long until the next harvest comes. So they don't spoil it. So it's just another one of those old wives' tales that people spread around, and it doesn't make any sense.
Hi, welcome back. Nice to see every one of you again back on the Organic Gardening, Homesteading, and Woodworking channel. My name's Luke. That's my dad, Dan. And this time we got a video for you on how to plant your green onions. When is the best time to plant your green onions, Dad?
Right now is March 15th, and according to the biodynamic gardening calendar, that's a good day to get the root crops in the ground.
What does that calendar mean, the biodynamic gardening calendar?
It's by the moon, basically.
Oh,
so
gardening by the moon phases?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a good time for the root crops. We got like a 2-day window to get them in the ground, and so that's why we're going to try to get them in there today.
All right, well, let's get to it.
All right, let's go. Okay, we're going to start by taking the mulch off the bed that we're going to plant the onions in. We've got it all mulched for the winter time, so we need to just pull that back a little bit. And you can see the drip line there. That would be planting on either side of. So just go along here and pull all this old straw off. This is straw that's been sitting out in the weather before we use it for mulch for a year or two, so we don't have all the terrible wheat seeds growing and germinating. And you can see there's really no weeds, no wheat, volunteer wheat coming up, which is really nice. I have to deal with that. Fresh straw would be a nightmare because you'd have a lot of seeds germinate and you'd have to pull wheat up. Okay, so we got that all pulled back, and now we'll prep for the green onions. These are the green onions. We just get them at the local store. These are Walla Walla sweets, and so that's how they kind of come. They have a rubber band wrapped around here. They're usually around 70 or so plants per bundle. So what I like to do first is the day before I plant them, I'll stick them in water that has just a little bit of fish fertilizer, a little bit of kelp, and a little bit of mycorrhizal in there, just to get them off to a good, healthy start, and you get them in the ground. And so let them sit for, well, you can do it for maybe 4 hours or so, but I actually let these sit overnight because I just didn't have time to get them in last night, so it won't hurt them. So we're gonna do that, and now the prep, you know, some people, like Charles Dowding, he has these Dibbles, they call them, and it's just a rounded stick, basically. And he goes along, his is like this long, and it's a great big thing. And it's hard to push in the ground to make a hole for the onions. And so I found a different way to do it, which is a whole lot easier, and I really like it a lot better. So I got tired of using this thing. I've used this in the past, and I'm going to retire this thing this time. So what I've come up with is, here's just an old piece of junk drill bit, auger bit, and we're going to drill holes and stick the onions in. It makes it really easy, and then there's a nice benefit for doing that, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. So what we do, I like to do it about 4 inches apart, the holes 4 inches apart, and you'll see I'll stagger them on either side of the tape. So you just go like that, and I just go down the row like this, drill holes. It kind of pulls that dirt right up out of there. And then I'll come back on this side, and I space it in between these two holes so that I have the largest area for the roots to go without fighting each other for root space. So you can go a lot faster than this if you want, but this is for the video. So just go along here and just drill a bunch of holes. It's kind of fun. actually. It takes no effort at all. You're not fighting that little dibble stick, and using that dibbler, it just packs the soil down at the bottom of the hole really hard. And I don't like having packed soil. It's not good for oxygen to get down there and get the microbes working. So this will just kind of makes it a whole lot easier and makes it kind of fun.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah, it just makes it so easy. You're not fighting.
Yeah.
Pushing on that stick, trying to get it in the ground and get it deep enough where the onions don't kind of work themselves out.
So how fast can you go?
Oh, I don't know. It just depends on how young you are.
There we go. Just make sure you miss your drip tape.
Yeah, I'd make a mess with that drip tape in a hurry.
Yep.
Yeah, it's probably far enough. I don't think I have very many starts left, so we'll see how that goes.
So yeah, you can see some of these holes here, nice and
Clean. It gets all the dirt out of the bottom of the hole.
yeah.
It doesn't tend to fall back in, so it works really good. So that does that. Then we'll just take these little starts that have been soaking, and I usually keep a container nearby that I put the little tiny ones in. I plant them in a separate location and kind of baby them if they need a little babying. So you just poke them down there, just drop them in the hole like so, and makes planting onions really, really easy for home gardeners.
Yeah, it's like it.
Just plop them in, and then we'll water them once we get them all backfilled. Give them a good drink of water, and then they'll be good until the rains come here in a little few days. And it's surprising, some of these little tiny onions that are in here, that they actually do end up growing into nice sized onions.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of these will probably get to be 6 inches or bigger in diameter. That's why I space them at least 4 inches apart. Give them as much room as I can afford. So, and if you kind of just poke them, the roots don't have to all get clear down the very bottom of the hole. If you push down and pull back up a little bit, it kind of helps get the roots down in there deeper.
All right, so next step?
Next step is to get this backfill material. We have a good source of organic dairy compost, certified organic. And so I use that. I mix a little bit of wood ash with it, a little bit of green sand, some kelp, a little bit of bone meal, a little bit of oyster shell flour for the calcium, and maybe a little bit of good earth humates, which is not really necessary, I don't think. But anyway, that's kind of what's in this mix. Just take a handful and just pour it in there like that. And you can just kind of wiggle it like that. And it just settles the onion right in there.
Oh, you're wiggling the onion up and down
Yeah,
there?
see this? You kind of, sometimes it has a little air pocket down there. You don't want an air pocket.
Yep.
So you just go like that. And that way you got the fertilizer, everything it needs right off the get-go.
Yeah.
And you don't have to till your ground. You don't want to till your ground. And we probably kill worms with that drill, here and there, but not near as bad as if you tilled the whole patch.
Sure.
You wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So this is just makes it really nice and gives a nice soft environment for the roots to take off into. And it absorbs it, soaks up the water really good too, this compost.
Boy, that looks pretty fast.
And it just makes it nice. And sometimes the old-fashioned way that I used to do it, it seemed like the onions would kind of work themselves out of the ground You didn't get them in deep enough with that dibble.
Yeah, it's nice that that mix you have is nice and loose.
Yeah, and it pours right in the hole nicely.
Right.
And doesn't clump up or anything.
Yeah, fills in around the...
Yeah, it fills in really nice. And actually kind of pulls the onion down in the hole and makes it really solid in there. It just doesn't, it won't come out with, if you had a strong wind or anything, it's going to stay there, or hard rain, it'll stay right in there. And then we just water them in good.
Some nice soft water.
Yeah, I really like these watering wands. These are made by Dram. And
Dram?
Yeah, Dram, D-R-A-M-M.
Do you get them locally?
Yeah, but you can order them off anywhere has them. These are ones I planted a little earlier this morning. Just giving them another little shot of water. Let this water soak in here.
You can see how much water he's putting on there.
Yeah, I usually let it sit for a little bit, let it get in there, and then come back and hit it again.
Yeah.
Second time, make sure that water gets down in there. Then as the onions grow bigger, then I'll kind of bring that mulch up around them better and keep the moisture in the ground, help keep the moisture in the soil better. With that little bit even just a thin layer of mulch really helps a lot. It doesn't have to be thick. Just a little sprinkle really makes a big difference. And you can kind of see, you can look over here, this is a bunch of garlic coming up. It's just poked itself right through all the old straw.
And you planted that?
And planted that in the fall.
Yeah.
I think it was November. We put that in. And
just coming right up through it.
Yeah, so it pulls right up, so it's good. You don't have to go back and mulch that. That's already taken care of for the summer.
Yeah.
And that'll really help conserve the moisture because we're very hot and dry here.
Hey, Dad, is there anything else we should know about the green onions or the wall sweets? When do we harvest them?
Just for harvest time, you'll see when they've kind of stopped growing and the tops have kind of gotten limp and they fall over. And then the neck kind of starts to dry up a little bit, gets a little thinner. And then you just leave them that way for a little while, and maybe a week or two, and then you can pull them and store them or whatever you're going to do with them. And yeah, that's all there is to harvesting. That's the fun part. And then we store them. The wall sweets won't store for the winter time at all. They're not a keeper onion. The other onions we plant are a storage type onion. And what we do things that people say you're never supposed to do. Tell you that you're never supposed to wash your onions or peel them or anything like that. Take the skins off. But we cut the roots right down to the nubbins, cut the tops off, and then we peel off a lot of the brown outside paper layers, get down so it's nice and clean, and wash it and store it, and they store perfect all year long until the next harvest comes. So they don't spoil it. So it's just another one of those old wives' tales that people spread around, and it doesn't make any sense.
Just keep them in the cool.
Yeah, we keep them in a cool area. We have a cool room that's running about 42 degrees that we keep them in. And so they keep wonderful for the whole year.
Do you need to wrap them with anything?
No, we just put them in an open box. They have good ventilation. And try not to stack them too deep. You don't want in a foot deep box. It's shallow boxes. And yeah, keep really well in.
Well, I think that's all we have for you as far as planting these green onions. Remember, if you like this video, subscribe, please. Leave a comment down in the section below. Give us a thumbs up if you really liked it. And we just put up a video about our tomato seed raffle. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out. Just leave us a comment there on that video and you'll be entered to win the tomato seed raffle. Pretty excited about that. And as always, remember, God is light and God is love.